going to be pretty tough for a team to stop us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to First Take. It's Wednesday. I'm very happy to be back here with you guys. I'm Charlie Arnold. We got Max Kellerman. We got Stephen A. Smith in the house. And Stephen A., hold on. I know you have something you want to get to before we talk about the Nets. So, floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to get to this. Yo, Max. Yesterday we were on our First Take. I want to start off First Take by I'm torn because on one hand I want to apologize to the folks from ESPN.com, but I also am starving to get at the idiots on social media. I actually, people actually took me seriously when I was talking about how dudes at ESPN.com who came up for the top 25 under 25 list, they were taking me seriously when I was talking about people needing to be tested, which is something I say all the time. I can't count how many times I've said that to you, Max. I can't count how many times I've said that to other analysts who've come on the show when I've disagreed with somebody. People have got at me with my A-list and other things. It's all part of television. It's what makes television fun. And I was just having a good time. And then lo and behold, all over social media yesterday and in some other places, people were literally looking at it. And then you're talking about Bobby Marks and others who've put together the list and basically saying Stephen A. disassociates himself from folks and doesn't want anything to do with them. Stop. I was joking around. I was having a good time. That's all I was doing. I certainly didn't mean to cast any aspersions on them. The guys over there do an exceptional job. I know them. I've seen their work. I read their work all the time. A lot of times we use the subject matter that they write about to create topics for ESPN on First Take and various other shows. So, of course, we have profound respect for them and what they bring to the table. And for the record, let me say to the audience, I haven't spoken to any ESPN executives or anybody about this kind of stuff. They know better than coming at me with something this trivial. I just felt the need to address it because obviously I've seen stuff on social media. I took the liberty of speaking with Adrian Wojnarowski last day, who does a lot of work and knows a lot of these guys. Obviously, he's the ultimate insider. I appreciated his perspective. I respect the hell out of him and what he brings to the table. So I just wanted to take a moment to make sure to apologize to those guys at ESPN.com and to also make sure everybody understands I'm playing around. Do I like the list? Hell no. I meant what I said about the list. I disagree with them. But everything else I was saying was just fun. They could have come on First Take and debated it with me. Hell, they still can. They are more than welcome to do so. It would make good television. It would be a lot of fun. That's what we is. That's what we are. ESPN, the entertainment and sports programming network. Sometimes people outside forget that. So I just want to make sure to remind everybody, and I apologize for any inconvenience that I may have caused to those folks at ESPN.com, because I certainly didn't mean it that way. That's what I wanted to say.
Social media. It's such a lovely place, isn't it?
I mean, can I just say something, Charlie?
Yeah.
I get it. If colleagues are like maybe taking something the wrong way, absolutely do what you have to do. You shouldn't. I mean, are you actually sitting here having to explain to people on social media that when you say some colleagues should be tested, that you don't mean it literally? Is that where we are?
Or
it is where we are.
Or disassociating myself from my colleagues who I have profound respect for, who do great work for us. Clearly, I was joking. I was just saying I disagree with the list. But evidently, people took it the wrong way. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands where I come from. And I want to emphasize, no boss came up to me, asked me to apologize. They know better than that. You got to come to me. You come to me with that stuff, you better come correct. That is not the issue here. I'm just going to be sensitive to those who have found themselves in precarious situations because of my words when I was clearly joking around. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, you're an entertainer. That's what you do, all right? You play some games. But speaking of playing games, guys, it seems like there's some games being played right across the river in Brooklyn with the big three, because we can never seem to get them all on the court at the same time, and that is the case again tonight. So there is some good news. Kevin Durant is likely to return in tonight's home contest against the Pelicans after missing the past 23 games. There's bad news, though. James Harden, he's going to miss at least 10 days with a hamstring strain. So let's talk about two of the big three in Brooklyn. Max, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think is more critical to their success? Is it Harden or is it Durant?
The answer is James Harden. And I want to be very clear about this. KD is the best player on the Nets. Kyrie is the most skillful player on the Nets. The most important player on the Nets is James Harden because he conducts the whole orchestra. He is the conductor. And if James Harden by himself can beat some of the best teams in the Western Conference, at least in the regular season, this dude this year is showing a level of basketball genius. You know genius when you see it, right? LeBron James, when we were kids, Stephen A., Magic and Bird, the way they see the court. But let me tell you something. Almost no one in the history of basketball, I'm trying to think of anyone, who's combined James Harden's scoring prowess, shooting ability, not just scoring the ball, but from anywhere, with his level of court vision. And on this team, leadership. Larry Bird, but Bird won the point guard. Bird's not going to take the ball up every time. Right now, Jokic, again, he's a point center. Some backcourt player who's been able to do it like James Harden. You look at LeBron James. LeBron doesn't shoot like James Harden. I'm not saying he's better than all those guys. I'm saying he combines it all in a package maybe we've never seen before. And on this Nets team, let me tell you something. Kyrie and KD, I wasn't picking them to win the championship. I wasn't picking them to get out of the Eastern Conference. Not the way Philadelphia looked, the way Embiid's been playing. Not the way the Bucks, with the additions they've made have looked recently. I wasn't picking them to get out of the East. But when you added James Harden, they were unstoppable with just Harden and Kyrie. Now you're going to add KD. Harden's the guy who makes this whole thing go. He's their most important player.
Max Kellerman, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Now, look at me, Max. Look at me and put me on that split screen and turn off these highlights for a second because I want Max to look at me. You understand what I'm saying? Oh. Max Kellerman,
I should be tested.
You should be tested. You should be tested, Max. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that, Max?
Social media ready
you okay
for it?
with that? You should be tested. Max. Okay, you should be tested, okay?
I'm going to tweet at you. Wait a minute. I'm tweeting it. Stephen A. said here we go.
Should be tested.
Go ahead. I'm just going to send out a tweet.
Max Kellerman. All right, that's just the way it is. Here's the deal, y'all. Max Kellerman, let me tell you something. I would remind you that Kevin Durant missed the entire 2019-2020 NBA season. Not just the season that was halted, but the season that resumed that summer in the bubble, last summer in the bubble, and ultimately causing this season to start in December. That Kevin Durant that was out damn near 18 months because of an Achilles tear came back, Max Kellerman, and in the 19 games that he played, and the 18 games that he started, because one game he didn't start because they were telling him he couldn't play because of contact tracing and all of this other stuff. Then he played, and then they pulled him from the damn game. That game, even with that included, Kevin Durant is averaging 29 points on 52% shooting and 43.4% from three-point range. And by the way, I might add 87% from the free throw line. This dude is lethal. He's a marksman. He's a sniper extraordinaire. And I'm telling you something right now. With a healthy Kevin Durant, a rookie coach that's never coached a day in his life on any level, and Steve Nash can win the championship. Without Kevin Durant, they might not even make it out of the East. That's how dramatic of a shift it is for Kevin Durant being in the lineup compared to him being out of the lineup. He is clearly the most important piece to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Kyrie Irving is box office. He's a showstopper. You walk through the turnstile. Let me tell y'all something right now. If Kyrie Irving looks you in the face and tells you he wants to play or gives the impression that he wants to play, that's all you need to see or hear to know he's the greatest show in basketball. Kyrie Irving is box office. You walk through the turnstiles to watch the show he will put on. Make no mistake about it. And he's been spectacular this year. James Harden, we know how big time he is and playing the best ball of his career. And as far as I'm concerned, is a legitimate top 2 league MVP candidate. But that would not be the case if Kevin Durant were healthy and Kevin Durant were playing these last 27, 28 games. You understand? Because we are talking about KD. He's just on another level. And with him, they could potentially be champions. Without him, they might not even win the conference. It's that dramatic of a shift. And to me, it's that simplistic to point to the fact that Kevin Durant is more important to them. I'm not trying to throw any shade on James Harden, who is spectacular. Again, top 2 league MVP candidate. I'm just talking about when you look at the Brooklyn Nets and what the expectations are. The expectation is the chip. The expectation is the chip. And that's only because Kevin Durant is there. If Kevin Durant wasn't there, Matt, even with Harden and Kyrie playing the way that they're playing, you sit there and say they'd have a chance, but nobody will sit up there and say the expectation is for them to win the chip. KD shifts the balance of power that dramatically.
Well, I'll say this. I think KD and Kyrie aren't favored to win the chip this year if LeBron and AD are healthy. Obviously, any one of those 3 guys will put it over the top because any 2 of those guys are already a whole lot. And KD is the best player. But let me give you some numbers, Stephen A.
Sure, please.
Without KD playing, just Harden and Kyrie, they're 16-3 this year. 16-3. With only Harden, they're 4-2. They're 20-5 without KD, but 16-3 when Harden has Kyrie with him. See,
I don't care.
Harden.
Whoa. Hold on, Max. I'll pause for a second.
Can do
I got a question. Hold on, I got a question for you. I just want to make sure. I want to put the world on pause because this is news flash right here. Big news, breaking news. Is Max Kellerman prioritizing regular season? Is that what you're doing?
No.
Are you sure?
No, but it is some evidence.
I'm just saying. You know how you are.
Some evidence.
I don't mind. But you know how you are.
I'm not. No, I'm not prioritizing regular season. I'm saying it's what we have to go by right now. And I'm not positive Harden can get it done in the playoffs when it matters most. I need to see it. But he's trending in that direction. And let me say this. Kyrie, I said earlier, is the most skilled. Harden can shoot and pass it. Kyrie can do all those things. But Harden combines it with a court vision and wisdom when to deploy those skills. That's different. That's why Kyrie knew, because Kyrie is smart, goes, okay, you're the point guard, I'm the off guard. He could see the way Harden conducts the whole orchestra, the team is better off, and Kyrie can easily play off ball when they need to, and he can score from anywhere and all that stuff. KD is 7 feet tall. So, of course, he's the best player because he can also do it all, but he's not normally going to initiate your offense. Harden is the key. Stephen A., when all 3, just Harden and Kyrie, forget the 7-footer who can do everything, will challenge at least in the East, if not for the whole thing. Again, 16-3 without KD. Mm-hmm. You add KD, I'm telling you right now, no one, it doesn't matter if the Lakers, anyone's healthy. If the Nets are all healthy, I don't see anyone taking them 7 games in the NBA.
Well, first of all, Captain Obvious, nobody needs a soliloquy from you when it comes to talking to us about the skill set that involves James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. That's number 1. Number 2, it's nice to hear you say that Kyrie Irving is smart because you spent quite a few years questioning his intelligence because of his comment about the earth being flat. You never let it go. I'm just saying. That's you. I'm just saying. But you didn't have to live on it for years. But you did.
2 + 2 is 5. What am I going to call you, a genius?
You wouldn't let it go. That's all I'm saying. You wouldn't let it go. That's number 2. Number 3. You talked about how the Brooklyn Nets wasn't even going to get out of the East because of their defense. I told you all it needed was marginal improvement, and you'd see. And all of a sudden, you've come around. That's number 3. Number 4, let me remind you.
Marginal?
Say what? What you talking about? It's not marginal. What you talking about? It's not marginal.
It wasn't marginal improvement. It was enormous improvement.
No, it was marginal. It's continued to improve, but you jumped on the Nets bandwagon, what I'm saying, after marginal improvement. I'm not saying it's only marginal improvement now, but you jumped on their bandwagon when it was marginal, which I told you was going to happen, because when you can score like that, you don't need to play stout defense all the time. You can still they can actually give up 119 points a game and still win. This is who they are. And so when you look at it from that perspective, understand this is what they're bringing to the table. In the end, the X factor is KD. This dude is that dude. If you have him healthy, you can win the chip with Harden and KD. You can win the chip with Kyrie and KD. You cannot win the chip without KD, with Harden and Kyrie. You can't do it. You're not going to.
Maybe with Kyrie and KD. Maybe. I don't think your odds are that much better, Kyrie and KD, than Kyrie and Harden, based on what I've seen. Stephen A., let's not forget, KD wasn't playing when it was just Kyrie and Harden. They went to the West Coast and beat up those Western Conference teams on a road trip with just Harden and Kyrie, sometimes no Kyrie.
You're shocking me here. You're telling me that the odds are not that great of a difference with Harden and Kyrie compared to KD and Kyrie? Is that what you're telling me?
That's right.
Are you insane?
That's right. I wouldn't pick
Are you
Kyrie.
insane?
No, I wouldn't pick Kyrie and KD to win the whole thing this year. Harden wasn't on this team. I don't think the Nets would win the championship this year.
Not.
With Harden, I don't think they can lose.
That's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm saying, forget the championship for a second. I'm saying stick to the odds. Are you telling me that the odds are literally slim in terms of difference between Kyrie and Harden and Kyrie and KD? That's insane.
Yes.
That's insane.
That's what I'm telling you.
Oh,
Nope,
God.
I'm telling you.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I'm telling you.
You should be tested. You should be tested. You should. You should.
Did you watch what Harden and Kyrie were doing this year?
I don't care.
They were
I don't care. It's
incredible.
not the playoffs. It's not the
Stephen
playoffs.
A. Okay, wait. You know what? Okay. Whoa. You got me there. That's assuming Harden continues to improve in the playoffs. But based on the evidence from this season, Stephen A., KD basically hasn't played. They have the best
Lakers,
record in the East. He hasn't gotten there yet. They got the best record in the East.
The difference for the Lakers was Anthony Davis, okay? Because you know what he brings on both ends of the floor, particularly defensively. You look at the Greek Freak. You know what he brings, okay? You look at the Joker. You know what he brings. Tell me one team in the entire world that has an answer for a healthy Kevin Durant. There is no answer. There is no answer. Zero.
Not on a team with Harden and
Zero.
Kyrie, there's not.
Zero. And there's no answer for Kyrie either if he's got that kind of help. There's no answer. Not for Kyrie.
Yeah, but you know why? You know why? Because the guy asking the questions is Harden. He's the guy with the ball in his hand. What y'all going to do about this? What are you going to do about that? Step back three, get to the line, feed the right guy, and also has the gravitas, has the respect that you need to decide the flow of the game.
Not diminishing
That's
Harden.
KD. That's Kyrie.
Sometimes
Sometimes this guy's getting the ball. Sometimes that guy. Sometimes it's going to go to Joe Harris. Harden makes those decisions and won't be questioned because he's so masterful running the offense.
You can say that all you want to, but when you've got a guy like KD who's 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan and can pull up from 30 on the regular, there is no answer for that.
Lots of questions, lots of answers. It's test time, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, get this. The Big Three have only played 7 games together this season. The last time was on February 13th. So we can debate their individual talents all we want. We know the biggest shift going to occur when they finally get on the court together. And we got some good basketball going on tonight, guys. We have a Wednesday doubleheader on ESPN and the ESPN app. Zion and the Pelicans